If we play our game now, we will see now that our character can just pass through this cube. And this is happening because this cube doesn't have any physics, any physical properties enabled. And in MANU, in order for our character to interact with anything, these objects should have at least somehow a kind of physical properties. Okay, so how we are going to enable the physical properties for this now? As we did before with our character, we are going to the physics tab, okay, and you will see this is set to no. There are no physics enabled for this cube. So if we click to yes, by default you will see that this cube now is set to static, and our character can jump on it and interact with this object, and collision events now can be generated in the collision between the cube and the character. Now let's see the different types of rigid body in these physics. Okay, so we can set it to ghost, and ghost means that the character can pass through, but still this cube has some physics properties, and so we can take collision events from this cube. Okay, just the character doesn't stop the character from passing through. It's ideal for creating, for example, when we want to open a door, or when we want our character to pass through a checkpoint, and you know, this is useful in these situations. Let's go to kinematic. I will skip dynamic for a second. And kinematic is exactly the same like the static. So our character can jump on it and have collision events, but the only difference is that with kinematic we can include these to animation and can animate it. If this is set to static, we cannot animate this cube through an animation. It's just for static, it's just to prevent a player to move to a different area, or just for the character to step on it. Kinematic means that we can animate this cube and we can do stuff through animations. So if you want to animate anything, this should be in kinematic. Now if we go to dynamic, you will see that this cube now has a mass and friction and bounciness, and if we play the game, we'll see that now the cube, the player can push the cube in all directions, and the cube can rotate. Now a very cool feature is that we can lock this movement of the cube however we like. And so if we, for example, click on the x-axis, we are locking this movement, so we prevent this cube from rotating in x-axis or y or z, and let's lock the movement to z axis also. So now our character can push the cube, but the cube is not rotating, but she cannot push in this direction because we have locked it. Okay, so let's unlock this. Now in advanced, if we can set custom gravity, and this will ignore the general gravity of the project. So this cube has its own gravity now, and if we set something like very low, we will see that now the cube it's very light, and let's see, maybe we can make him fly a little bit. Let's see, come on, okay. So you see, it's like now the cube has very low gravity, and it's like being in a different planet or the moon or something like that. Okay. So this custom gravity is very good when we want to create projectiles. So if we set, for example, this to 0, now this cube doesn't have any gravity at all, and some settings here to play with, but the most important is that we can set this cube to have a linear velocity and in x-axis, for example. Okay, so if I type here 10, and start the game. Now you see that the cube just have a velocity at the start of the game. Let's try now and take, for example, this island, which is not a cube, obviously, and has a different, very unique shape. Okay, if we try now to enable physics for this, let's see what will happen. Okay, enable physics, and like before, you see MANU is set by default this static, and MANU is trying to guess the best shape to cover the entire model. And but this is not good for us in this particular moment, okay, this particular example, because this is a very unique shape, of course. So what can we do about it? You see there are different colliders. Right now it's in box. We can set it to sphere, or we can set it to a capsule, or anything from this that fits your shape better. And a very interesting and very useful, by my opinion, is this plane, which according to which axis you have this, it covers the entire map. So if you want to prevent player from going totally in one direction, you can prevent it like this, or very useful when you create for example a death collider and you want our character not be able to go under or over a specific height. So another one is the convex hull. And what this does is to create a more detailed shape of a collider, but it's a little bit simplified. But it's a little bit more, it's a little bit better. So roughly is this shape, okay. An even better one is the triangle mesh, which is the most expensive also for memory. So you should use this very carefully. But it is the most detailed one. So if we try to play the game, for example, now, we will see that our character can jump on this island now, and you see the shape is almost pretty much accurate. Just to see this shape, this is another little tip. We can click on this icon and go to view and go to physics colliders, and now we just enable the physics colliders while we are in game, so you can see exactly the collider of this island. Okay, and this is the cubes.